A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. From the gun, it's Wentz. Got him in. He finds Sanders. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Sunday.
On play action, it's Wentz. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now a play fake. Wentz looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. On for the point after is Randy Bullock. And that one makes it 14-7.
Next to score, Vikings 14, Lions 7.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Jim. Hey, Ford, Tokyo.
Now Wentz. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. He's going deep for Brown. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! At their own 49-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
Let's go, Mike 50. Mike 50.
Yeah.
Watch your slack. Watch your slack. Here we go. 50.
Ready?
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. The Lions on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 9. He'll look to throw. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to go up top for the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Throwing is Wentz. This will be caught by Brown. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 25 yards there on the catch and run. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action.
42 to Mike, boy, 42.
Hey, Alpha.
Throwing on first is Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. To throw, it's Wentz. Johnson's got it complete. It's a gain of 5, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down.
Check, 42 to Mike.
This 5-7.
Working from the gun, Wentz. Got a man, it's Brown. And they'll bring him down right at midfield, and he is well short of the first down. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Throwing now is Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here at half number one. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. To throw is Wentz. And he will find his man on the outside. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
The open man is Smith. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
First and goal at the 9-yard line.
Here we go. 120.
Here I come. 52's the mic, boys. 52. Watch the backer.
This 5-7.
Wentz now to throw. And it'll be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Interception, baby.
His guys take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. A big play there for Minnesota. 55 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Go. Waiting.
Down to lose one. Watch time.
Hey, stand. Hey, Red 5-2, out here. Hey, Delta. 25, check 25.
Shotgun now for Wentz. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Hollywood Marquise Brown, his second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Elliott now to add the extra point. It's good, and it's 21-10. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. And that often runs you into a penalty.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. That's going to set them back 5 yards. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
At the 29-yard line.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Now they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's not even going to get back to the line of scrimmage. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Now the offense failed earlier on the previous crack at this, but they're going again on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it here. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. That pickup goes for 25. What a flip of the script. From 4th down to 1st. From Viking territory now. They'll come up 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Here's a run on 1st down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 46-yard line.
Here we go. 60 Pittsburgh. I'm coming after you. Ready?
2nd and 11. Throwing deep for Galladay. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Kenny Galladay, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Recon, 132 fighter. Hey, Haywood. Fight.
They'll set up to throw. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Yeah, that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A 7-yard pickup.
A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Again, it's Johnson. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Wentz to throw on 3rd and 1. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defense coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed a quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receivers can intercept it.
Well, he's got to figure something out because the current formula is not working. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Hey, wahoo! Get it.
They're going to look to throw. Open man is Galladay, complete. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to about the 19. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they've got the lead here getting late into the third quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that. But the rushing game, almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. On first down, Wentz. He's going deep for Brown. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Vikings! 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that. Truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
We're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. A lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of a first after a gain of about 9. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now back to throw. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hawkinson. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a 1st down from the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw here. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a 1st down.
Set, 30 base.
50 the money, 50 the money. 1st down. Go.
Ready.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
The Lions on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 17. They'll look to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball.
And he is going to go down for the 5th time tonight, and this one is going to be a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Ready, break.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Steps away to his left. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Grady Jarrett able to record his 5th sack of the season. The Lions on 3rd down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This is 3rd and 17. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory. Backed up, in good situation, it didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet the entire time.
Here's Ryan Allen now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get. And it's just so strange to see that go up on the board. And then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
At the 25-yard line.
Done.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. And it's still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
Go. 280.
Stay with your man.
The Sanders has got it complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
At the 36-yard line.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Out of the pistol, here's Johnson. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
You'd have to think likely another running play coming here. 2nd and 11.
Here I come again. Here I come again.
They go to Johnson again. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and they were really helped by their defense forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for the Vikings, the win moves them a couple games over 500 now at 7-5. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for the Lions, it's another week with more questions than answers as they fall to 3-9. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Baby, you live and did it again. Put it 10, know I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it.
Okay.
Know you sad about it.
I just got bags from Prada. Rolling up. I'm in a brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Only got real ones round them. Only got. It take a week to count it. Then I'm back up. Name the place and we back up. Running these racks up. 100 meals a week after. Dying from laughter. When it come to handles, never had one. With a bad one. Made a meal today